I just want to tell you today is your lucky night, and I'm going to be demystifying what vibe coding is. I'm sure it's terminology that you might have heard, and but you're not sure of what it really means. It's just an area of where you develop web applications or you develop mobile applications by just prompt, by just your basic English. So rather than using programming languages to build web applications or to build mobile applications. You just build mobile applications by talking to AI, and AI builds it for you. So this is an era where a lot of people have used it to create what we call MVPs, which is called minimum viable product. And people have even used it to create web applications and mobile applications that scale to businesses. So what I'm saying is with the possibility of AI and you being able to understand how to prompt, you can actually build your dream web applications or you build your dream mobile applications without actually, employing the services of a web developer or a mobile app developer. And you can launch within an hour, within 2 hours. I'm going to show you some of the web applications I've launched that have scaled, that are already making money. And I'm going to give you a taster of how to do that. If you have ideas in your head as to, you have ideas, you want to build products. Maybe you've always had this long-term idea in your head that you want to build something great, but you don't have the technical experience, you don't have the, that tech experience or you don't have the time, or you feel you are too old to learn technologies, or you feel you are too busy, maybe life has taken you into a different direction and all that. So this evening, I'm going to be demystifying what vibe coding is, and I'm going to be showing you. And if you have got the time and you've got a computer right beside you, you can actually build an app within this 1 hour that we're going to have this meeting. And if you've got questions, I don't know if the chat is open for you to ask questions, but you can always send the questions to the moderator afterwards. So let me talk about a little bit about my background. My name is Adeyinka Campbell. I currently work I'm the web product manager for Birkbeck University of London at the moment. And my role entails that I lead the design and implementation of new features on the university website. So I work with developers, I work with user experience researchers, I work with user experience researchers, user testers, and I design as well. I design user interface, I design user experience. So I'm more of a designer. I'm also a web developer, a full stack web developer, front end and back end. So like half of my life is in tech already. I'm also a graphic designer. I wear a lot of hats anyways. I'm an entrepreneur. I've launched businesses, and so in all, I have a plethora of diverse skills ranging from design and programming experience. So combining all this together and now with AI has given me so much power, to achieve quite a lot. And I teach this to people as well, So that is that on my professional background. In the UK, my experience in the UK, coming into the UK for my master's, I started off working from a kitchen porter to an healthcare assistant, support worker, waiter, barback. I've done, quite a number of survival jobs to the point till afterwards, I then found myself, find a path within the tech space, and I was able to get myself to where I am at the moment. So this is just to encourage us that there are opportunities there with the advent of AI. I'm sure you must have been learning quite a lot about what AI can do, the possibilities of AI. And this is just about the best time for people to, to fulfill their life dreams using AI. So let me take you back to the reason why we're here. That's what vibe coding is. But before I do that, I'm just going to share my screen with you just to show you what I've done with vibe coding and what you can also do. If these things that you see me do, that I'm going to show you now, are something that you can also do as well after learning what vibe coding is. So permit me to share my screen. So let me share this, my Chrome tab. Share the entire screen first. Yeah, can you all see my screen? Can you see
yes,
my?
we can.
Yes,
we can.
Yeah. So now this is one of the web applications that I built using vibe coding, and this is a working web application. It's new, though I haven't launched it, but you can see that it's a working application. It was built by AI. It was built by me just telling it what to do, just plain English. This is what I wanted to do. This is what I wanted to build. I want to create this. I want to do this. And it built a fully functional web, a food ordering application. And what this application does, it connects people who can cook Nigerian food with people who want to eat Nigerian food. It connects them together. People order by posting their postcode in here, and it looks for chefs around you, people who have registered as chefs. And as you can see, this is for people who want to join as a chef. Probably because I've already registered, so but I can log in as a chef. You can see the menu for chefs. So it's an app that's already working, and people can order, you can add menu and all that. So this is just one of it, and this is already a working app that I can decide to sell. I can decide to sell it as a template and earn a lot of money from it. I can decide to launch it as a business. All these were built with AI. It's what we call vibe coding, and it's just you prompting it with English. Yeah, and it's one of the things that is making waves at the moment. So if you're learning about AI, you're learning how to integrate AI into your workflow, or you're learning AI automation, you're learning AI tools, it's just something that you can also have at the back, especially those who want to transition into tech, but are too, maybe because of life experience or because family, you've got maybe you've got a job you're currently doing, there's no time. This is not something you can stylishly learn to transition into tech. You can see that it built all the pages for me, and this is just one of it. And it also built this for me as well. I also use vibe coding to build it. This is a tool to help people transition into tech. All they just need to do is answer basic questions, and it will then tailor them to the right tech career. Is a tool, all people just need to do is just answer this basic question. This was built using AI, vibe coding. All I just needed to do was to prompt it. This is what I want you to do, and then do it. Let me show you the last one. This was also built using the same vibe coding platform, AI vibe coding. This is an app to help women test their breast for breast cancer. I developed this app for people back home in Nigeria, people in the rural areas who might want to test for breast cancer, and this is just a social just to help people, to help people in the rural areas to detect breast cancer, to manage, you can see it's done with different languages, and yeah. So this is just to help people manage, to test their breast regularly for lumps that can lead to breast cancer. And this was also done. So this is just a teaser, just to give you an idea of what the possibility. This was also built. This is my booking platform where people book my consulting services. It was also built by the AI platform. So what this does is it has eliminated, web developers or app developers or, anything that has been holding you back, from sorry. So where is my screen? So that's for anything that has been holding you back. Let me just stop my screen for my sharing for. Yeah, better. So this is just to let you know that it is possibilities now. You can as well, train AI to help you build things, to help you bring your ideas to life. I'm going to share my story later on, but first of all, let me what is vibe coding? Vibe coding allows you to create apps by simply describing what you want in plain English. I'm going to show you the vibe coding tools that are available, and I'm going to show you the one that I'm using at the moment. And if you've got time, that's why I said if you've got time, we might do some 15 minutes, 30 minutes where we might decide to build an app. But if there's opportunity for you to put in the chat, if one of us have one app idea, can you just put it in the chat so that I can just build it up at the end of the class? So just let me take you back to what vibe coding is. It's just vibe coding allows you to create apps, by just simply prompting it in plain English. You don't need to memorize any syntax or frameworks. You don't need to learn HTML, CSS, JavaScript and stress yourself. You just act as the creative director, guiding the AI on how to bring your ideas to life. Yeah, this method is ideal for beginners and professionals, like I said before. So for those of us who have not been in tech before, you've never had you've probably because of life issues, or you think you are too old, or whatever reason that you have, this is an opportunity for you to transition into tech by learning to build products. And I'm going to that as well. So vibe coding is an AI-powered software creation using prompts. You can create softwares by just using prompts. With just your natural language, your natural English, by just explaining what you want to build. Instead of typing every line of code for developers, you can actually describe the features and the behaviors, of the application that you want to build. AI then generates complete code. It generates the UI for you as well. It generates the logic. It's like you communicating with computer. You're communicating with computer to make things happen intuitively. You get what I mean? You are telling the computer, this is what I want you to build. Can you add a page where people can book me, put a sign up form there where people click on the sign up. Now, it's just synonymous to you using AI, any AI tool, LLM tool like ChatGPT. The quality of the quality of the response you get from any AI LLM platform, the quality of the response you get is dependent on the quality of the prompt. If your prompts are just fake prompts, like build me an app, build me a dating app, for instance, it will build you a dating app. But will that app solve the problem on ground? Will that app scale? And there's likely possibility with bugs because you gave it a vague prompt. Build me a dating app, build me an e-commerce app. Whereas if you had prompted it in detail, like you talk about the problem you want to solve, you talk about the users that you want them to use the app, you create a persona, which I'm going to talk about that as well. And I'm going to share a case study of how I usually come up with prompts to build my applications. My applications are usually different from every other application. It doesn't look vibe coded. It looks like as if it was a developer that actually, built it, and it performs the function. It has the features I want because I have a product design background. I have a product management background. So I'm going to give you some little tips on how to build your own apps too from the product management background perspective, so that your app doesn't give you bugs, doesn't give you issues, it's not error prone, it's not attack prone. You have a bit of security on it. You can scale it into businesses, even right from the word go. So I'm going to show you that. I'm going to demo it for you. So now, why is vibe coding the game changer for beginners? Beginner intake. Why is it game changer? You see, traditional coding, where you learn different programming languages, can take months. It can take months, even sometimes years, before you see results, before you learn syntax, before you learn object-oriented programming, before you even learn version control, how to, manage version, maybe probably with GitHub and all that. It can take months or years, but vibe coding allows you to see results immediately. It helps you to shorten the learning curve. It keeps your motivation high because you can see what you are building. It helps learners gain confidence quickly. You gain confidence quickly, and you can create working prototypes. You can test your ideas. You can learn programming concepts on the go. Because as you are building the app with AI is generating those codes, those programming, those codes for you. It's writing a code in the back end where you can also check and learn programming concepts. So if you just don't want to stop at learning AI vibe coding tools, building AI tools with prompts, you can as well learn programming by just seeing the way the AI platform works, and how it develops the code for you. So that's why vibe coding is a game changer for beginners. Another thing I want to talk about is, if you're already a developer in here, there's a lot of things going on, a lot of theory going on. AI is going to come, AI is going to take you, it's going to replace people on their job, AI is going to do that. And I tell you, and I still want to tell you categorically, you can invite me to any forum to debate it. AI can never take the job of human. It can only take jobs that are repetitive. You can only take jobs that can be automated, but you can never take the jobs of a developer, for instance, because this is the reason. It is developers building a software or building a web application is much more than just developing it. It is human that will do the user research. That's what we call user research. Before you can build a product, before you can build an app, before you can build a website, you need to first understand who you are building the app for. So I'll still get to that part. There's a theory, what we call design thinking theory in methodology, in product management, in design generally. We call it design thinking methodology. This is a method we use in software development, like that, to develop websites, to develop web applications. We don't just now. Let me design a website now, or you want to develop an app for your business, and you go to a web developer and you say, and Mr. Web Developer, can you build me an app, an e-commerce app? Probably maybe you're selling clothes, you're selling clothing, t-shirts and all that, and you go to a web developer and you say, build me an e-commerce site. And that's the only thing you just give to the web developer. The web developer is just going to build based on his own knowledge, based on his own interpretation of your request. Mind you, you are the business owner. You know your users. You know the kind of people you want to reach out. It is your own responsibility as a business owner or as a product manager or as a stakeholder to know who you are building your app for, who you are building your website for. It is not the responsibility of the developer to just come up with something. And in the past, that has always been the case. Even when we were back in Nigeria, when I was developing websites, the clients would just come to us, give me this is my school, just give us a website, that will showcase our school. And we're like, okay, what are your core values? Who are your target audience? They don't know. They just give us something. At the end of the day, those products, those websites, those applications fail because they are just being developed with just tools, the developer, from the developer's point of view, and the developer is not the owner of the business. So that's where design thinking methodology comes into being. For every successful product that you see, for every successful app that you see, it has gone through design thinking methodologies. I'm going to go to that. I'm also going to show you that. I just want to quickly run through vibe coding, then I'll teach you the practical aspect with the design thinking methodologies. So if you're already a developer, like I was saying before, AI can never take the place of human. It's just a tool. That is just a tool for professionals. For instance, AI cannot do user testing. When you develop your app, for instance, and you want to test with users, it's not AI that will go and test for people for you. You still need human. It is human that even make decisions, design decisions. It's human that make those decisions, and you make decisions based on data. You make your decision, whether your design decision or your development or the kind of technology you're going to use to build the application, you make it based on research and data. It is human that make decision, not AI. AI is just a tool. And the earlier you realize that, the better. That AI is just a tool. It's just a tool to make our work as professionals efficient. It's just to improve efficiency. See AI like your business partner, your coding partner. If you're into business, digital business, it's your business partner. If you're a developer like myself or a designer, it's just a design partner, or just a developer, a developer assistant that can, send an errand to do stuff for me. So I cannot totally depend on it, because another reason is this: when you look at ChatGPT, for those of us who use ChatGPT a lot, there's a caveat under ChatGPT that says that AI makes mistakes. AI makes it. So it's telling you that don't believe everything this AI tells you. Because let me tell you a secret. If you give AI a wrong prompt, if you give any AI platform, AI LLM platform, a wrong prompt, something that you know that is wrong, and you write it there, you say, I believe that this thing is right. Can you give me a reason why it is right? It will always support you. I've tested so many AI. I've worked with help to train some AI platforms, some AI machine learning platforms, and they have been able to understand that it is what you give it, it gives you back. In fact, if you give it the wrong prompt and it will give you an answer that feels right in its own sense. When you now tell it this is wrong, this is what you just gave me is wrong, why did you give me this? It will apologize and tell you, oh, I don't know if any of us have tried that before, but that is how AI. So you can't totally believe or agree with whatever it is AI says. You also have to be knowledgeable to the point that you know that what is actually giving you is right. So you can't put all your eggs or all your hope in an AI platform. You say that this AI is definitely going to make the best for me. So that is that. So let me just share my screen so that I can. I don't want to take your time. I don't want to bore you with that. So there's so many vibe coding tools, of which I'm going to share. I'm going to share my screen again to show you those vibe coding tools. So that some of us will have come across it, and you must have seen somebody use it right beside you, but you are not really sure. Or yeah, so I'm just going to show you the ones available and the ones that I use. Then we'll go to the practical where I show you. We build an app. We just build a random application, and I'll show you how to do that. So permit me to share my screen again. Let me go back to the same. Now there are several tools, by which you can build applications and vibe coding tools. So number one is there's Bolt.new. Bolt, we call it Bolt. All you just need to do is come here and type build me this, build me that, and in a matter of minutes, it will build that platform for you. It will build whatever website, whatever application that you have. Is called Bolt.new. They are called vibe coding platforms. All you just need to do is sign up. They are free tiers and they are paid tiers. There's a free.
I only see your own website.
Sorry?
You are seeing your website alone.
Oh, sorry. I thought I shared my. Just a minute, please. Sorry, I thought I shared. Oh, sorry, I shared only the Chrome tab. Sorry. Yeah. So let me take you back. So this is it. Thank you for pointing that out. Now, can you see this website? Can you see my screen now?
Yes, please.
Okay, lovely. So this is just one of the vibe coding tools, Bolt.new. All you just need to do is to type a prompt here, build me and a blah, 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 and it will build it for you in minutes. Like I said, the quality of the response you get from any AI LLM platform is dependent on the quality of the prompt. So if you give it a vague prompt, you will get a vague answer. And that app might not even scale. Well, which means that you need a very detailed prompt for you to be able to build something meaningful, something scalable, and something marketable. So like I used to say, not everyone that will go into tech will become an employee. Some will go into tech because they want to become business owners, tech business owners. So you then have to then sit back before you start using vibe coding tools to make apps. What kind of tech person do you want to, what was your goal? What's your end goal for going into tech? What is your end goal? If you have all the, I used to say, if you have all the, it's just like me asking you, if you have all the power in this world to, you have all the power in this world to become anything you want to become, what would you become? And it's sad that a lot of people don't even have the plan. They just want to have the power, but they don't have a plan yet. So before you start jumping on all these AI platform, AI tools, otherwise, you need to have a goal of what you want to achieve. Otherwise, you just keep moving around with all this knowledge. At the end of the day, you're not able to come up with something, something that will benefit you, So this is another platform where you can build. This is called Replit.com. It's called Replit. You see, all you just need to do is come here, type whatever it is you want to type, and press start, and it builds. This is another vibe coding tool. It's called Replit. So we have both.new, we have Replit.com, and this is another one, lovable.dev. You can see that they all have the same user interface where you just type in your prompts and, it gives you whatever it is that you want to give you, whatever you want to build. And yeah, so you have lovable.dev as well. And we also have Emergent. Look, can you see this complex application that this can build? It can build weather apps. It can build any application, whether if you're into agriculture, for instance, you can build applications that predict weather. You can build applications that, it depends on any area. You can build transportation app. You can build any app of your choice with all these vibe coding tools without even learning, to know how to code. So that is that. So let me now take you back to, my, I'm just going to run through this presentation so that this will set the tone for what we are going to build. And I promise you, I'm not going to take your time because this is just like a taster for you. But I just don't want this taster to be something that, you just come and we just talk. I just want it to be a bit practical. And I want you to go home with something, maybe like an homework that you can always reach out whenever you're stuck, and we can then scale things up from there. So I'm just going to run this. We've talked about this. So what is vibe coding? We talked about what vibe coding is. It's just a workflow where you use clear prompts to generate an app, then you refine it through quick feedback loops. What that means is whenever you create an app, whenever you create your app, you give it a prompt and it builds something, you test it. And if it doesn't work the way you want it to work, you go back and you tell the AI that this thing is not working the way it should. This is how I want it to work. So your focus as the person, vibe coding, your focus is on your idea, on the user and the behavior of the app. All your own is because you are the business person, you are the product manager, you know what you want the app to, you know the problem you want the app to solve. That is your idea. You know who you want to, and the kind of users you want to use the app. You know them, you understand them. So those are the users. That's your own responsibility. And the behavior of the app, when people click on the button, what happens when they click on that button? Those are your own area. That's what you should focus on. Then the AI will help you with the structure, with the UI, that's the user interface, and the logic behind when people click on this, when people sign in, log in, what content should they see? Who should have access to what? You understand? And if it has to do with payments, is it when they log in, that's when they can make payments, or when they are logged out? How do you then prompt them to log in before they make payment? It is the AI that will do all those logic, for you. We've talked about why vibe coding helps, beginners. I've talked about it. It helps you gain faster confidence, faster feedback, fewer barriers. You don't need to go and learn programming before you can vibe code. Then how does it start? You start with your idea. You can begin from day one by describing your app. You see? So it's just like we're jumping on a vibe coding class, an introductory class tonight. And you can actually start building your app from now. So imagine this was not possible in some years back, that you can actually jump into tech. You can actually jump into building apps in one day. But it's become a reality now, and it's those who take advantage of it now that will benefit from it. Because the earlier you get into it, and then the deeper you go, then you become a master. You become someone, an authority in the field of AI. It might not be possible for you to know every aspect of AI, but if you pick one particular aspect and you are very good at it, it might open up opportunities that you have never seen before. So you start with ideas, iterate quickly, which means that you can always create too many versions of the app. You can get your first version fast. You can test it, then you can then improve on small thing at a time. You can always improve your app at a time. You might not actually get the perfect app the first time, but you keep working on it. You keep improving on it. Then you can ship prototypes. You can become a prototype for you. You can turn your projects into demos. You can demo it to investors. If you have investors, you have an idea, for instance, and you have someone who has money who can invest in it, you can build the app and show it to the person so that they can invest in it. It depends on, that's why I say you need to have a clear goal. You need to have a clear goal, Then how do you, this is the vibe coding, the loop. You describe your idea. Step one, you describe your idea, write a clear prompt. You have to talk about the goal. You have to talk about the kind of users that you want to use. You have to talk about the features. You have to talk about the style. What we mean by style is the colors of the button, the UI. You have to describe in details what you want the vibe coding app to build. That is the only way you can get the best result. If you look at the apps that are built, you can see that the UI, the user interface is very clean, is very nice. And if you don't know how to prompt it, it will just give you something basic. It will even give you something that would confuse the users, and people will not be able to use your app properly. So you don't leave all those things. You don't leave all this logic to AI. You think about it. How do you want people to use your app? How do you want them to navigate the app? So after describing, we are going to use an app called Base44. I will show you. You let Base44 create the first working version. Then you test. You click everything, try wrong input, check on mobile as well. Then you improve. You ask one change at a time. It's always required that whenever you want to make an iteration, you ask for one change at a time. Don't just say, and when you're asking for the change, don't just say, this button is not working, fix it. Tell AI, tell that platform what you want that button to do. When people click on this button, where should it take them? What action should that button perform when people click on it? So that's how product managers think. And if you are going to build apps successfully using vibe coding, you have to start thinking like a product manager. You have to start thinking like someone who has done research on the problem you want to solve with your app, the people who are going to use your app. You have carefully defined them. You have carefully defined the statement. We call it user's problem statement. What problem are you solving? What problem are you solving with your app? Then now start thinking about the user journey. How do you want user to? Do you want them to log in? Then when they log in, what do they do next? You have to carefully plan all that first before jumping on any vibe coding to build your app. At the end of the day, you share your app, you deploy your app to people. People can use it. Now, how do you get prompting that gets results? This is the most important part of this. How do you get prompting that gets results? You have to be specific. You have to build small. And you have to test often. These are the do's. State the goal and the user. State the goal of the app and the user. Another thing is you should list 3 to 5 must-have features. What do you want to feature on that website? You have to describe it. Then you have to describe the UI. How do you want the UI to feel? Clean, mobile friendly. Do you want, maybe if it's maybe a children website, you can talk about, it's for children. Make it animated background, give it this, make it funny. You can always describe how you want the UI style to look. They always ask for one improvement at a time. Then when you go through the app, when you try to test the app and you get errors, bugs, describe the bugs. Bugs are called errors. Describe those errors with steps, to reproduce. So tell the AI, this is when you click on this button, instead of doing this, it's doing this. And this is the error message that is showing on the screen. Copy that error message, in detail, describe the error, and the AI will fix it. What are those things you don't do when you are using vibe coding? You don't use vague requests like make it better. What is it making better? The AI will make it better in the way it understands most. It might not be aligned with the way you want it to make it better. You get what I mean? So don't use vague requests like make it better. Ask for huge app. You ask for a huge app in one prompt. Like you want to build a dating app, for instance. You now say, I want to build a dating app. On that dating app, I want people to be selling clothes. I want people to be able to exchange clothes. Then I want an e-commerce site to be on it. And you are building features that will confuse the AI, the Vibe Code platform. Because if you're actually telling a developer to build that, you've confused the developer. So you build one at a time. Even if you're going to have extra features added later, build your minimum viable product first. Build something that is simple first. Then you can then start adding features on it. Skip testing. You don't want to skip testing. You have to keep testing whatever it is you do to check that it works. Don't assume that your app will work. You have to keep testing and testing and testing. And don't ask it to change 10 things at once. Change the color of this one, change this one, this button. You now write it at once. You will confuse the Vibe coding platform. Then there's what we call accessibility and mobile layout. You have to test if your app works well on mobile. You have to check it. Don't ignore it. Because a lot of people might be coming from mobile phones, from your phone, and from phones. And if your app is not developed to respond to smaller screen sizes, it will break it won't look nice. It will chase your users away, and you end up just wasting your time with an application or a website that no one wants to use. Every application that I've built with the Vibe coding tool, I have made sure that they are mobile responsive. They work very well on mobile and on other screens. Then there's what we call accessibility. Accessibility is an area of on web development or web development ecosystem that caters to people with disabilities. Some people might not have good eyes. They might not have, they might have problem with their eyes, and I might not be able to see some certain colors the way it should. So you be mindful of the kind of colors that you use on your app or your website. Some people are color blind; they can't see or they can't see choose some colors. And some people also do not have they use keyboard. They can't use their mouse. Some people don't have hands. Some have hands, but they can't use the mouse. So you have to build it in such a way that people can use keyboard to tap through. And also you have to build for screen. Some people use screen readers. The screen readers must be able to read your website to people who have eye problem, who cannot see. Who cannot see. So when you are designing applications, you have to factor all this. And this is what product managers think about. You don't just go and say build an app. These are the things that you need as if you want to succeed in building applications or building websites using AI. These are the things that you need to factor in. So where does base 44 fit? I'm going to demonstrate this anyway. So yeah, so let me now take you back to what I talked about. This is the final bit. You can see this diagram here to the right. This is what is called design thinking process I talked about. Let me just share a story. I don't know how long I have left, but I just quickly want to share a small story before I jump into building of you understanding the problem, understanding what you want to build first before going to build. Let you going to Vibe coding tool to build, let it be the last step that you take when you want to develop an app or when you want to develop a website. It's just like web developers are the last set of people that, let's assume that we don't have any Vibe coding tool and you're going to build your app with web developers. Let web developers be the last set of people that you want to go and meet. The first set of people you want to meet are those who have problems that you want to solve. People who have the problems that you want to solve should be the first set of people you go and meet to conduct research. And I'm going to share something quickly. So let me do Ojulo Rowa. I don't know if you understand. As in, let me stop share. I'll come back to see my face when I'm talking, so that it's a very yeah.
It's a very serious matter.
Sorry?
It's a very serious matter.
It's a very serious matter. I just want you to pick something from it. Way back in 2018 or about 2018, 2019. I went to somewhere in Lekki. We are all Nigerians, and some of us live in Lagos. So I went with my business partner in Lekki to see a client. We did not drive that day. So on our way back, after the meeting, we decided to take a taxi back to the mainland. That's from Lekki. And ideally, we wanted to book an Uber, but because of surge, a lot of people were just leaving work. It was around past 4, and there was traffic everywhere. So we tried booking Uber, but we could not get Uber. We could not get a driver. So while we were looking for the Uber, when we were looking for the app to just book something that would take us away from Lekki, we saw a very clean, we call it Kabu Kabu taxi. I don't know if you know Kabu taxi, this yellow and black taxi in Lagos. Yeah, I'm sure we are conversant with that. Yeah, Kabu. But it was not the regular Kabu that will have an old man driving it and to be rickety. A very clean car, a Tokumbo clean car with clean yellow and black paint, with AC, clean seats, clean car, and a young guy inside. So when we flagged it down and we told him where we were going on the mainland, and he opened the door and we got in, and he had his AC on. I was surprised because this was the first time in my life that I would take a Kabu, a yellow and black taxi that has AC with a very young driver, and everywhere was looking glam in a taxi, Kabu taxi. So while we were going, myself and my business partner, we decided to engage the driver, and we asked him some questions. This is where that empathize phase starts from. I showed you a diagram initially. So we saw immediately when we were sitting down, we saw a business opportunity. We saw this is an opportunity. But first, let's validate the idea that is in my head. Let me validate it by asking this man questions. So we started asking him questions. Oga, this is nice. This is the first Kabu I've ever taken that has. I said, no, yeah. So he makes more money. They started telling us he makes more money because people would prefer to take his taxi when he's in the park, when he's in the taxi park with the other ones. They prefer to take his own because his own is cleaner. And so he makes so much money compared to every other taxi driver. I said, fine. So that means that people will have to come to, your park for them to see you. He said, yeah, I came to drop someone on the mainland. That was why, on the island, that was how we were able to get him. That we're just lucky to get him. And I said, they started thinking, this might be a model. This might be a model. They started asking him, what if? Then he started talking about Uber. Uber came and, spoiled the taxi business for, and a lot of these elderly people are just there. They don't have access, they are just there because Uber has taken over. And so we asked him a question. So what do you think? How do you think a technology can help the situation? Then he said, if there is an app, for instance, like Uber for us, yellow and black taxi, and that which we can be using to get our customers, people can book from their house too. We can go and pick them and all that. So me and my business partner started thinking, then we thought about, but majority of these people who are doing this Kabu, they are elderly men. They don't have Android phone, and the technology might be difficult for them to use. You see, we have started doing our research. This is how whatever application that you want to build with this vibe coding tool, for instance, this is where you should start from. Start asking questions. Start validating those ideas. Because the more questions you ask, the more problems you keep seeing. Oh, like the problem of those elderly men we talked about. How do we solve that part? Where, these men, they don't know how to use app. These elderly people, they don't know how do we solve that part? And you know what? To cut the long story short, we built the first e-hailing app. Go and find out. It's called TCAB, though we've shut it down when we were all relocating. We built the first e-hailing app to compete with Uber, but passengers can negotiate price with drivers. This was where the idea came from. After having that discussion with that man, we went to different taxi parks to go and meet those elderly men. What if we're able to get incentives for you? When we're able to come into partnership with people who will give you cars that you would brand into the, this yellow and black. And even about your Android, you can also be in partnership with companies that will give you tabs, give you phones on credit, and you'll be paying if this thing works out. And that's how we're able to secure partnerships, and we're able to start something off. We could not scale because at some point we needed funding, and government policies came in, and what killed the business was a lot of government policies. Then they came that we have to be registered as, we have to get some license, and it was ranging towards almost 500 million. Like, how much have we even made that we are we're parting with, and the pressure was just too much. Yeah, and at some point we just said, okay, at least we validated this idea. Whenever we are ready, whenever we have the chance. And mind you, when we were having those ideas, I was not a web developer. I was not a developer. I was just a UI UX designer. I was just a product designer. My partner was just a business strategist. But because the more we probed for the problem, we found someone, an 18-year-old boy who eventually built the app. Why? Because we kept probing the problem. We kept probing the problem. You see, if you're going to build an app, you're going to vibe code an app or a website or something, a business that will scale in this era, you have to consider those who are going to use it first before you go and start vibe coding, or before you can start looking for developers. That is the trick. So that is what we call the empathize stage. You are empathizing with people. You are asking them questions. You're asking them their problem, the pain point. How do you think technology can help? You are noting things down. And these are the things that you then take to go and, ideate. To go and let me share my screen back so that I can take you back to that diagram. Trying to see how much I can put together, because this is a class in itself. That it's a class, a complete class in itself. I just wanted to empathize. Then you define the problem. I'm just going to rush through. You define the problem. Okay, now that we've identified the problem, let's define it. This is the problem that we want to solve, and you define it. Then now start ideating, start thinking of how do we solve this problem? How do we create solutions to this problem? And this problem of this person is, somebody want to buy, you want to connect people who can sew clothes, people who want to buy clothes. How do we make it easy for people to see those who can sew clothes? How do they take measurements? How do they send their measurement? That's what we call ideating process. Start thinking about the process. So when you get your ideating process right, then you move to prototyping. That's when you build. That's when you then go to your vibe coding tool to build. You see that the building is even the fourth stage. The fourth stage. So you don't just say, I have an idea overnight, and then you jump on vibe coding tool to go and build. There's likely possibility that product will fail. Now, the last stage is testing. After you build, then you start testing. You keep testing and you keep testing until that product keep getting better. You keep getting feedback from those people who you have gone to meet at the beginning. You send the app to them, they test it. If it solves their problem, then your product is ready to be shipped or ready to be taken to investors to invest in it. Now, they have said, data have shown that, they've said that they have predicted that in the next 5 years, AI is going to create more millionaires than ever, even within within the industrial revolution, past in this industrial revolution. In the AI, in the next 5 years, AI is going to create more millionaires than ever, that has ever been seen, in history. So this is, and we can as well take advantage of it. So let's just start something. Let's create an app. So if you've got questions before we start creating questions, or if you've got an app that you want us to build, can you just and if this is too much, if you need to just pause a bit for you to breathe and take things in.
I think somebody has their hand up. Olu has his hand up.
Okay.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Yes.
So I was, thanks for the presentation. So I was wondering, for someone that has an existing app that was created by a traditional, web developer and all that, and you want to, for example, if something went wrong with the app, can you use like this whole vibe coding thing to edit and fix your problem by yourself instead of consulting a traditional web developer? I don't know if my question actually makes sense.
Yes, thank you very much. So Now, this is how I usually approach this. Because you already have an existing app, which is code based, vibe coding is not the way to solve it, to solve that problem. However, let me just give you this scenario. When I joined this, I work with a university. When I joined this university as a web product manager, the first project that was given to me was more of development driven. It was not more of, because it was not more of design driven. They already had an existing website, an existing feature on the website that was not working, but they now wanted a new feature, but they don't want to break that existing code base, but they want to integrate the new feature inside. So the web developers have tried doing it, but it kept distorting the website. And so that was the first project that was given to me. At that time, and to make matters worse, it was a Python framed. That website was a Python-based framework, and I was more of a JavaScript, HTML and JavaScript person. I was no more of a Python person. So for me to now sit back and look at that Python, the code base, and see how I can, make things work, it was difficult for me. You know what helped me? I used ChatGPT. You know what I did? I downloaded the website on my laptop, so I had access to the code base. So I connected my ChatGPT. I used a paid ChatGPT, by the way. I connected my ChatGPT to my code base, and I shared my code. I shared the code with ChatGPT, and in my own terms, I said, this is what I want. This functionality is not working. It's not doing this. It's not doing that. Can you refactor this code to ensure that this happens, and this happens? I was specific about it. If you have access, if you have your code base on your local device, maybe on your laptop, or you have it on GitHub, you can download it on your laptop and play with it. And you see that ordinary ChatGPT fixed things for me. And I was able, and because I also have some bit of dev experience, I was able to at least figure out, okay, I don't want you to, I don't want your change to affect the whole code base. This part, line this to line this, is what I want you to check for me. I think there is a bug in there that is not making my app to function well. And he looked at it and he gave me his own code. I copied it and replaced that code on my my laptop, on my laptop, on my dev environment, on my local dev environment, and it worked. So it might be a slightly different approach, Mr. Olu-Emmanuel. It might be a slightly different approach, but you see, you have AI just by your side. It might not be vibe coding too, because you already have a code base that has been built, by someone. The logic behind what the person built is quite different. Except you want is, and you know what? The beautiful thing is, if you only want to go through the right route of vibe coding, you can copy codes and paste in there as well and see you can ask the vibe coding to fix for you. But it will be too messy because this was a logic that was created by someone else. Instead, you just want to build that thing. Try to build it separately first with the vibe coding tool and see the outcome. Maybe that would be my first approach. Okay, this app that this person has built for me, let me vibe code it. Let me even see what it looks like. And you know what? Vibe coding might even point out some other things that you have not considered, because it will keep giving you suggestions. Can we add this to this? Can we add this to this? Don't you think we could add this to this? And by the time you now compare with what you have, you will now have a general.
Hey, give away. How are you?
Yeah. Olu-Emmanuel, I hope I've been able to.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Who else?
I have a question, sir.
Okay.
Preparation for your
Okay, Mr. Larry.
it's next week, Abby.
Yeah. Who else has a question?
Yes, I have a question. Thanks for your presentation. I wanted to ask you, I know because of time you are not able to show us, but what I wanted to find out is if you finish using any of these vibe coding platforms, and then let's say you've already bought a domain. Is there any way to now actually transfer that thing? Because obviously to be in the platform's name, is there any way to now transfer it to your domain name and host instead of leaving it on their own? And also transfer the database, everything. That's, I think, the main thing I'm also trying to understand.
Yes, because it's like this. You can connect it to your either connect it to your GitHub repository. You can always extract your files from the GitHub repository. You can connect it to a GitHub repository. And you know what, the way these vibe coding platforms usually do is, if you want your database, for instance, if you want your backend database, there are different tiers, there are different levels. There's the beginner level where maybe it's free. You use free credits to build, just like every other platform. There are always levels where you buy credits to. So there's a particular level where if you want everything, your database, you can then move everything that you have in your database or your backend into your own private server. But if you have a domain name already, you can point your domain name to this. You can host they also have hosting service as well. So you can host your app or your website on their server. You can buy domain name from them. If you have an existing domain name, you can point it to that, and everything will work fine. And if you want to move it out, all you need to do is just upgrade to a certain. They usually have different. When you go through their pricing, I will show you. You can always request to get all your files out. But what I did was to create a GitHub account where I moved everything. I used that GitHub account for my version control. I moved all my folders, all my files to, I connected it to my GitHub. So I also have partners who work, on the back end using GitHub to improve the application. So it depends until you get to the point where when you feel like, but the possibility of you moving your files, your backend functionalities off their platform is possible. You just need to move to a tier, a membership tier where that gives you that opportunity to move it.
Yeah, the GitHub thing is like you are carrying us to another place where we know Sabi, because
so let me just quickly, when I demo it now, when I demo it now, you understand.
Because
so are you ready for the demo?
It's now going outside of what you do, as in, you are making it so simple as if we just talk and then everything will just come to me. I'm mentioning GitHub and we know GitHub.
Sorry, okay, let's it was just the question that Larry or who asked the question. I just wanted to.
That asked the question. There's I is also raising up his hand. So before he raises up his hand, I swear you can use on the we use Canva Pro for Tech website, and what I just did was like just the vibe coding thing. Like all that I was just playing with it. I saw it on YouTube, and we have Canva Pro, and I just told it to do something, and I just said it, and we have our domain name. I just plug it in, and it's now live.
See,
it will guide you. You can ask ChatGPT, where should I tell you to put HTTP here, backend there. It's kind of very simple now. But that GitHub owner, well, you have to know some other thing. But that's kind of very easy one way to do it, depending on the platform you are using. Anyway, that was from Canva Pro. I did ask his hand up.
Okay.
Thank you, Tolu. Thank you, Adeyinka, for the class so far. I've enjoyed it so much. I'm looking forward to the actual demo. What I wanted to ask is, when you've used the tool to build something, in terms of ownership and copyrights and whatnot, do you have to be is it fully yours 100% even after you monetize it, or do you have to pay the platform?
It's yours 100%. Now I've left Canva Pro. Yeah. Canva Pro doesn't have anything to do with this in the game, but I can still go and amend the code from on there. I think it's yours 100%.
Oh, that's yours,
great. Yeah, it's yours 100%. Like I have a platform there where I have my training platform there, and where people book for my trainings or book for one-to-one sessions. I only linked it with Stripe, and it's mine. They only gave me a platform. What I did was, because I hosted it with them, I hosted everything with them. So I only pay for them hosting my stuff. You understand? More like if I want to, I would definitely use an hosting platform also. If I had wanted to, build a platform or build a website or build an app, I would definitely pay for hosting, domain and hosting as well somewhere else. So I just decided to use their platform. But everything that they have it in the documentation. You own everything. You own everything. The data, so it's your responsibility to ensure to manage the data, to manage the infrastructure.
And also
you just pay.
And also security.
Yeah.
Will the tool deal with the security aspect of it, or would you have to sort that out outside of the tool?
For base 44, for instance, they manage the security. Okay. I'm going to show you how we set up the security for every app that we build using base 44. Just some might not really have the feature because I've tried using both at some point and I was scared about the security. But I think it was the very early days when these vibe coding tools came out. But now every vibe coding tool, every platform, it's improving, in their features, adding security, adding data privacy. And yeah, because no AI platform wants to get into trouble. So they themselves are already bringing out policies. They are bringing out documentation to let you know where your data is residing and how to best protect it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. So are we ready? Does anyone have an idea? What kind of app do you want us to build?
Ola has a hand up, I think.
Okay. Ola.
She's not ready.
Okay.
Can go ahead.
Now, let's do this. So, Tolulokwe, what app do you think? Let's just play around with something. What problem do you think we might solve this night?
So maybe
someone put a message in the Rock High Tech General group for an idea. So they've put down an app for a care home that manages staff, pay slips, leave, booking, rota, and so on.
Okay. So now this is what we're going to do. This is a problem. This is a problem we want to solve, but we want to first develop a minimum viable product. Out of all these features, which of these features do you think we can start with? You remember part of the rules, we don't build all the features at the same time, so that you can give clarity, the AI platform gets clarity of what you want to do. So since it's a care home management application, so are we talking about where staffs can log in daily, do daily logs on on service users, about log medication? I think that would be the minimum viable thing, where staffs are able to have access to, certain staff are able to have access to care plans for the service users, and they're able to log daily activities like medication, sleep patterns, behavior. That's the basic thing for every home before them moving on to the login time sheets or login. Or what do you think? I just wanted to have a discussion. This is the most important part for me, just to get things right. And this is the methodology I want to instill when you're coming up with app ideas. Yes, I know I want to create something for a care home, but what do we start with that we can test, then keep adding features to it? What's the base that we can start with?
Yeah, I think that your idea is good, where they can see the residents, whoever they care, the residents' patients' details, i.e. who's taking what medication, so they know who to give certain things to.
Yeah, and then
so
they
that
can
be
also log
simple.
those activities.
Yeah,
you can log it, so that you can hand over to the next caregiver, so that the next caregiver knows what has happened, with in the previous shift, And that's just a basic thing. So let me share my screen and let's quickly build that. Share my entire screen. Now, you want to build something, don't just go directly to vibe coding tools to write your prompt. There's what we call PRD, product requirement document. This is a document we use whenever we want to build an application, maybe an enterprise application or a person-centered application, whatever application that we want to build. We usually create a PRD first. Now, I want to assume that the vibe coding tool is my web developer. That's my web developer team that I want to reach out to. But they always need a document to walk them through what I want to build. So this document will contain the tech stack that they're going to use. It will contain the features that I want to use. It will contain the UI flows, the flow, the user journey. So this is what I want to use to build a prompt that I can use for Base44. So I usually start my journey from ChatGPT. I use ChatGPT to create a product requirement document. I use my ChatGPT to create a product. Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So
yes, we got you.
Okay, lovely. So I go to ChatGPT, I create a new project. I use the paid version of ChatGPT. So so I just want to create care home management application. So create project. So here, so I'll just say create a PRD, create a product requirement document. This is where I start from, and this is my workflow that anybody can use, a product requirement document. Or let me just call it PRD. A PRD for web application. The care home management. The care home management web application with features that allow care support workers, or I'm not going to be too detailed because of time. Healthcare assistants, log daily activities on service users, medication, what else? Sleep pattern. No, let me not talk about sleep pattern. Medication, daily activities.
Yeah, like exercise or something like that.
Yeah, daily activity. Yeah. Is behavior patterns and more. So let's not, but ideally I will write everything that is in my head. I'll write it here, but let's just do this and let's see what it will come up with. You see, because it knows I use Base44, so it's already creating a practical PRD for me. Now look at what the product requirement document is. It's giving it a name, CareLog. You can rename it later. Purpose: to help care homes and supported living digitally record, track, and monitor service users' daily activities, including medication, behavior. You can see that it has helped me to expand the idea. Can you see the reason why I had to create a product requirement document first? It has made the app it has made the project, it has broken it down into tiny pieces for me. The app replaces paper logs. That's the problem this app is solving. You can see how it has expanded it. It replaces paper logs and WhatsApp notes with a central, secure, easy to use system for support workers, senior staff, and managers. Target users, can you see? Support workers, secondary users, senior, team, care, register. Users' problem, you can see it has created a problem. You see, I was talking about the problem the other time. Look at it now. Paper daily logs get lost or incomplete. Hard to track behavior patterns over time. Medication records are manual or error prone. Managers can't easily see what you can see. What is the goal of this app? Who are the users? This is what a PRD does. It talks about their permissions. Support worker can view service user. They can do this, they can do that. Senior team leaders can view all support worker permissions. You can review logs, add this. Manager will do this. Look at the features, the core features. Each service user has this. They have a profile, daily login. You can see that medication, behavior, incident tracking, daily activities. This is, if you want to get the best from vibe coding, this is where you start from. You create a PRD. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? Now, look at what it says. It says, turn this into base 44 vibe coding prompts. This is what I need. I don't have time to, if I had time, I would go through this, creating the screens, designing the screens by myself. But because there's no time, so let's just go straight into. So I create a prompt. It is now this prompt that I will take to my vibe coding tool. You see, below is a clean copy and paste. You see. You can see it's even creating the database, the tables in the database, how the data is going to be, structured in your database. Can you see? Can you see? It's creating all this. It's even talking about accessibility, clear labels, non-goals. This one's out of scope. Future enhancement. You see, enhancement in the future is putting this optional priority. So if you want, I can convert this into this, but what I just want to do is copy all this. I don't even care what I copy. I just copy all this. Copy everything. Let me just help here. Stop here. I copy this and I go to my vibe coding. Now, let me just quickly show you around base 44. When you log into base 44, when you go to app.base44.com, this is what it will show you. These are the applications that I've built with it. This is the interface. I just quickly run you through this interface. But I will run you through this interface phase by building. So let me just paste what I've copied and let it build. It might take, the first build might take a while, maybe like 5 to 8 minutes. Now you can see that it is already writing by the side. Can you see my screen? It's already writing what it's going to build. It's writing the color. It is writing the design language. It's talking about the component structure. It's talking about the features. Can you see? Now it's building it. So the next 5 to 7 minutes or thereabout, it will have built something for us.
Can I ask a quick question?
Yes, please.
You mentioned earlier in part of the rules to follow when doing this is to not give it too much in a go.
Yeah.
But you've just copied the whole thing. Is that from ChatGPT? Is that because it's your first ask of it? And then from now on, you like to
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that question. You know, I mentioned something earlier that the quality of the prompt you give to any AI platform will determine the quality of the response that you get. So no matter how, it depends on how detailed you are. So it's not seeing this first as different instruction. It's seeing it as, I want you to build this app for me, but I want this app to have this. This is the kind of, you are telling it in details. This is the first build. You understand? You are telling it in detail. This is what I expect you to be. Just like you're talking to your web developer, you are telling it, instead of giving him a vague request, build me a care home app, and it stops there. Now you're explaining it to this is what I want the app to be like. This is so assume that your vibe coding tool is the web developer. You can't just say build me a care, because this is your first build. You understand? give me just like I explained earlier, I want to build a care management, care home management application, and you just stop it there. It's going to ask you questions. How do you want to build it? What's the UI like? What's the user journey like? What are the components? What are the key features you want? So that is what we are giving. This is the first prompt that we are giving to it. So now after this, now if you don't now say you don't want to add other things, and you are adding so many extra things to it, and that is quite different from the initial structure. Then you start confusing. Then it starts hallucinating. Like it's no longer sure. Okay, for instance, if you ask a web developer to build, you probably give him all these key features and all that. And while he's building it, he now came back and you know what? I want an aspect of it to have some e-commerce where people can buy and sell. And you're like, what's the relationship between? It's going to get lost. It's going to start, because it cannot say no. It's going to start hallucinating. It will try to build it, but it's going to mess up the idea. That's why I said you always have an MVP. What's the minimum viable product to start with? When it finishes, you see that when you finish building this now, it will not start telling you, do you want us to add this? Can I add this to it? Then you can all just do is type yes, add this to it. You see, it's building, and the first build usually takes like 5 minutes to 8 minutes. So let's wait to see what it will definitely come up with. But it's building it at the moment. It's already building the layout. It's building the design. You can see deep navy, warm teal, and you can always edit the colors if you want. Okay, while it is building, let me use the opportunity to talk through the user interface. Okay, is that okay, everyone?
I think Ola has a hand up. I don't know whether she wants to ask question or be.
Okay, Ola.
It's been up since.
Oh, sorry, your hand must have been paining. Oh, sorry, Ola.
She's talking again. Let me help her to bring it down.
So while it's building, let me just talk through the user interface. It's a very simple user interface. You see, while it's building, you see this logo here takes you to where you have your credit. You can see I have some credit because I'm on the builder plan. I'm on a plan that I pay a certain amount every month. But if you're joining if you want to use it for free, it's only going to be giving you 5 credits per day. And when I started using Base44, because I wanted to validate how the platform works, I was using the free tier. So I will use my 5 credits, and after I exhaust it, I will wait until it renews for me to complete my first app. So my first app took me almost 2 weeks, but I was able to build my app with the free platform. But it was when I now built the first app and it worked so fine, and then decided to move to the paid platform because I wanted to start using it to, make some money. I wanted to start making money out of my applications. That was why so not everybody might, fall in that category that they might be able to be paying a certain amount monthly and all that. If you still want to maintain your free tier, you don't need to pay anything. Your credit renewed, your 5 credits renews certain hours, maybe 12 hours, I don't know, but it's not up to a day. But I've had people who have, like the last set of class, the class I had last, everybody, they're still on the free platform, the free tier, and they've all built applications, not one application, almost 2 applications with it because they kept waiting for it to renew. So this is where you know how much credits you have left. This is where you see the pricing plans. When you click on the pricing plan, you see my billing. I think this is where my billing is. So it's still building. So that is that. And then let me now take you to this can you see where I'm moving my mouse? This is where you write your prompt, and you can also change the model, your AI model that you want. You can choose it manually. You can decide to say, I want Cloud Sonnet, I want Gemini 3 Pro, I want ChatGPT 5, I want Claude, or you can decide to choose whatever AI model that you want to build your app. Can you see? So you have total control on the model that you are using. I don't usually go to that place, but I just believe that it will definitely pick the best model for me. Now, then you have this visual edit. If you click on, if your app is up now, you can use this visual edit to change the design, the colors on the website. You can move things around because it's a visual edit. This button here, if you click on it, I just want our idea to build first before clicking on it. But this visual edit is, if you don't like the way the app looks, you don't like the color, you want to change the color, you can click on that visual edit and move through the design, move through the app, and change the color to whatever color you want to change. You can also change some text, some font, some text with the visual edit. Now you also have the discuss. Can you see this discuss panel? When you click on this discuss, it changes the mode to discussion mode. Then you can, when you are building and you have some other ideas coming in your head, instead of you just come and put it there. So instead of you just coming to put it here, you can, instead of it coming to the chart to put it there, you can discuss with the AI, and the AI will be able to tell you, to have some discussion with you, like, okay, can we do it this way? No, let's do it this way. So I use this discuss mode most times when I'm lost, when I need ideas, I use the discuss mode. So this is what this section is all about. Now, when it has, let's just wait for it to preview. Then you have these panels up here. You have the preview panel. This is, it will show whatever it is that is in this drop down. Because it's still building, you have to wait. This is building all this page. Can you see it has built it? It has built it. Or is it still building? It's still building. It's still building. But can you see? Can you see? This is a dashboard. I'm sure this is a dashboard for one of the admin. Now let's look at the service users. You see, it already has some default service users here. Let's look at the default. What the service, you see, it already has some data. It put some, by itself, it added some sample data here. Let's look at this, the medication for Robert. He missed this medication. Let's look at his behavior. You see, let's try to add new log. You see, Robert Hughes, this is one of the service user. This is the date, this is the shift type, well-being. Is it good? Is it fair? Is it for when you checked him in the room? Was he okay? Then personal care. You can click. If personal care has been done, you click on it. Breakfast. Has he taken breakfast? Lunch, dinner, fluid intake. Did he take so much? Did he take so low? Can you see that it's hard? His activities. Did you take any of his works? Did he do music today? You see, you can just choose, and it's very simple and intuitive. Sleep quality, did he sleep very well? No, he had a poor sleep. Then for medication, you can always add medication. Can you see? It has already forced for the person with the idea. You can as well validate this and see that it has done justice to whatever it is. Very detailed. Then behavior, you can also add behavior. Calm, low, the trigger, what triggered him. This is when you are reporting incident, you know. Behavior 1, is it calm? Is he anxious? Is he aggressive? Is he high? What triggered him? What's the description? Have you used the escalation? What's the outcome? Is follow-up required? So when you click on follow-up required, it will definitely, the person that will take the shift from you is just very detailed. And for some of us who are using management information system at our current workplace as a support worker, you understand that this is exactly how is being designed. You see, behavior, medication record. So this is the admin. This is more like the admin panel. This is dashboard. And now, can we see that it has actually created this? And there are different kinds of users. So the next thing I would then do is to create a landing page. I want a landing page. And you can see that is giving us suggestion, add offline mode. What if there's no internet? What if there's no internet? So the thing is, I just wanted you to see the possibility, because we can't run through all this. But you can see that it has created there. So let's create a landing page. Create a landing page that highlights the why the app is important. and how to use it. So I just want to create a landing page, to show how, so that when people log in, they don't just come here and see the dashboard. I create a landing page that showcases values, this. So it's creating that, and that is going to. So all these are different pages. And for some of us who have developers who are developers, and you want to check through the design, you can always come here and look at the users, people who are using the app. You see, I'm the only one using it now. The data, these are your data. You can see the code. Okay, these are the service user details. This is the database. Then you can also have access to your code. These are your code base for those of us who are developers. You see, these are your code. This is your code base. You can see, you can just copy all this, paste it. You can recreate this on your local dashboard, or you connect with your GitHub here. Can you see? So let's look. Okay, still creating a landing page, but I'm going to stop when it creates a landing page because it's quite a lot. But you can see that it has developed the application. If the colors, for instance, okay, let's see. I think it's created a landing page. If you don't like the colors, for instance, you can always use the visual edit. Can you see the landing page? Get started. Why care log matters? Safeguarding, save time. And you see, I don't even have to write the content. It's created the content for me. Can you see? Can you see? So go to dashboard. If you are logged in, it will take you to the dashboard. But it has created. So this is how you keep testing. And when you are done, you come here, you publish it. When you publish it, it gives you this default domain for you to test. But if you want to buy, you can always buy domain here. Just click on manage and buy domain. So if you want to buy a domain, you can then look for your domain name here, like caresomething.co.uk. Then you buy and you host it and start working. So for those of us who want to, so this is just typically how things work. I can't run through all this because of time, but this is just to show, like this is just a 101 course. But if you're interested in learning, because I do classes every Saturday, you can always reach out. But this is just a basic of what you are able to do. And
this is very impressive.
Yeah, thank you very much. So you can see that it's created this, and we have done all this in less than 30 minutes. So imagine what you can do in 2 hours or in a day. So I would stop here. And
thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I think we have some people have questions. Oh. Christian is raising up his hand.
Okay. Yeah.
So can you hear me though?
Hello.
So with this is Christian. Good evening. Okay. I joined quite late. So with this now, this would help. You don't even need a BA in your organization if you know how to navigate this app very well, because it has done almost everything that a BA would do for you.
Yeah.
It's quite impressive.
Yeah. Can I shock you? Sometimes it's quite difficult to transition into tech in the UK, but I transitioned into tech from a support worker role in the same organization. I was a support worker on a particular day, and before the close of business that day, they have changed my role because I was able to create create solutions like this. Not even with AI. AI has not even been. I know I had this in me, and I was bold enough to take some initiative, and I went to the management. See, this is how things work. This is how we can do it. Can you do it? Okay, go and do it now. Let's see. And I did it, and then my role changed, and I changed my CV, and I started applying for tech jobs, and I started getting offers. So it may just be an opportunity for you to strike that conversation with your employer, wherever it is you are at the moment. Sometimes you don't wait for opportunities to come. You create the opportunities. And these are just knowing all these tools might just be, that thing that you need to get to your next level.